Folks, this document that I'm circulating here, that I'm sharing here, has been making rounds on social media platforms. And when you look at that document, I mean, it's indicating that a meeting should have been held in La République du Cameroon yesterday, a very high level security meeting. And a lot of people have said La République du Cameroon is finalizing steps to place a curfew in southern Cameroon in order to completely annex and assimilate and why not wipe out our regions. So by integrating the southwest, what they call the southwest into Litra, that they call Sawa, and the northwest into the west, that they call the grassfield. But you see, folks, I like us to take note about certain things. Sometimes we worry too much about inanities. If La République du Cameroon had the opportunity to do this and wipe us out and end this thing, they will not wait 80 years. Sometimes when they do these things and then they send out this thing, they say, sur très haute instruction du chef de l'État, chef de force armée, le ministre délégué à la présidence de la République, so that they are holding this business. They give the impression is some kind of fear mongering to make people say, this time, look, just go back. And imagine the number of times they have done this kind of, they have carried out this kind of things. La République du Cameroon is at its wit's end. I like us to know this. Let this not bother you, not even 1 inch. La République du Cameroon is at its wit's end. They have tried all kinds of strategies. Those strategies have not worked. Listen, folks, the most efficient strategy that La République du Cameroon has tried to date is divide and rule. Dividing us, making sure we fight each other, making sure we don't see eyeball to eyeball, making sure anytime we talk about the need for synergy, they have their people in our midst who come out to say, don't talk again. We are the leading group, just join us. Who come to say, don't make any noise. Our leader is the leader and just respect him. Who come out to say, every other person apart from our leader are agents of La République. This finger pointing and all of those things. That's the most efficient tool that La République du Cameroon has used to date. The military tools, zero. They have all failed. And we have come to that realization. This is why, right now, we are doing all we can, and we should focus all our energy on overcoming the demon of division. These things, this nonsense piece of paper mean nothing. They have held this kind of meetings before. They have held even most critical ones. They have sent out, the most dreaded of their forces. Because the bee was already eaten. Of course, bees, they're already eaten in Amazonia. Of course, say, hey, let me take this opportunity to say hello to Braveheart, no pity. Delighted to know that you are preparing a comeback. So, at the Church of No Pity, the bees were eaten, demystified, reduced to their barest expression. They brought all kinds of, force spéciaux. Force spéciaux were reduced to nonsense in Amazonia. They've tried everything militarily, cannot go. The only weapon that they have against us, and that they will continue to tout and tout and tout, in the pious hope that we will get too divided to the point where we finally simply get weakened as a result of that, is divide and rule. That's the only tool that Mr. Bia has in his bag now that appear to have had some impact, but which we are fighting right now and must continue to fight. Sometimes when I come here and speak, people insult, oh my God, I've told you before, if I am still here, it's because I'm insult proof. If I am still here, it's because all those calls, like I came here to make a request for assistance for some of our people, and I said I needed $1,380. Of course, as at my broadcast of yesterday, this far, we've moved an inch to about $885. As at the time I was coming into the studio, we're still short of about $500. But someone came and said, "How are you asking for money like a scammer? Because you don't want to say exactly where it's going and all of those things." I've said here before. Listen, folks, if insults had to do a thing on me, I would have dropped out of this liberation movement in 2018. When I had all kinds of false accusations on me. I'm going nowhere. I'm right here. I'm in for the long haul. Until we get to Boya, I'll be here. A lot of people came out and said rising stars, and their capital was insulting Bakuru on social media morning, afternoon, evening, and getting praises for that. Where are they? Where are those talking heads? Because They did not have this cause at heart because they could not stand the heat. I have faced it before in La République du Cameroon in the Lion's Den. It is not among Amazonians that will get disturbed and discombobulated and, frightened out of this liberation movement and in for the long haul. And I'm telling you, these antics by La République du Cameroon, forget them. Towards end of year, they naturally, generally hold this kind of meetings because their security concerns are not only in the southern Cameroons. That's the only way they have problems. They have problems with Boko Haram in the northern regions. They have serious problems of an impending implosion in La République du Cameroon. They are discovering, weapons stashed in some locations in La République du Cameroon every day. They're having that insomnia, and they know that La République du Cameroon is in a powder magazine, that you only need a little spark for horrible things to begin happening. That's why they are meeting. Ignore them and let's stay focused on our goal. Forget about their state of emergency, that nonsense. If they knew it would work for them, they would have done that years back. La République du Cameroon is not that kind of regime that holds back. They unleash everything, just as you see right ahead. Yes, they do. They unleash. So folks, ignore that nonsense. And as I was talking about them, La République du Cameroon talks unleashing, we saw what happened to our own brother, Barrister Richard Tamfu in Douala, in La République du Cameroon yesterday. Barrister Richard Tamfu was mercilessly tortured. I mean, mercilessly tortured by gendarmes from the Groupement Territorial, the commandement in Douala. I have Barrister Richard Tamfu there in picture. We definitely have heard about him, even if we don't know him physically, heard about him a lot. Barrister Richard Tamfu is that one who has volunteered a lot to defend our people, even when others shied away. Barrister Richard Tamfu is that one who went to Boya to defend our sister who was, harassed by Moja Moja, who himself today is in the throes of death. Harassed by Moja Moja while she was heavily pregnant. And her only crime was that she happened to have been a past girlfriend to her braveheart No Pity. And with all what she went through until she had to stay in jail with her pregnancy, even put to birth in jail, is Barrister Tamfu. This is our brother Barrister Tamfu, who stuck his neck out and went to Boya, enter appearance, to defend this lady all the way to the end. He had done that for a good lot of other folks that we don't know. Much as Barrister Tamfu has continued to operate with structures of La République du Cameroon, political parties of La République du Cameroon, and of course, we have completely warned against that all the time because we don't have any business with the politics of La République du Cameroon. We don't want our people participating in any way, shape, or form because we're not part of that country. But Barrister Tamfu, by his other acts, has proven that he is a man with a heart and he is a man with determination to fight for just causes. And so the pictures that you are seeing there are pictures of Barrister Tamfu being tortured mercilessly in the face of the public by gendarmes of the Groupement Territorial in Douala, in the littoral region of La République du Cameroon. And why was he being tortured? Simply because Barrister Tamfu required the gendarmes who came to arrest his client to follow the law. To follow the law as prescribed in the penal code of that country or in the criminal procedure code of that country, of La République du Cameroon. And because he said, you cannot barely come to hand a summons to my client and you are arresting him at the same time, that is wrong. It's just a summons, not an arrest warrant. And so you can't do that. And he opposed ferociously and stood to defend his client. Whereupon, these people descended on him like never before seen. Those pictures I'm showing are pictures of how the people descended on him in the eyes of the public. They beat him to pulp, carried him, threw him behind a pickup van, and did not only end by throwing him behind that pickup van. The video I'm going to show right ahead will make you may not see the act itself, because some of those pictures, I mean the most graphic ones, I couldn't broadcast here because of the community regulations of YouTube. They won't allow me broadcast those here because they're very hard. But you hear the outcry of the public in the short one that I'll show, which is acceptable according to the community regulations of YouTube. You will be embarrassed with what you see. Look at, they are not holding back. They are ignoring the cries of the people. Though the people stand there too helpless, but they are hitting and hitting, even climbing on him with their boots behind that pickup. Huh? I'd like you to take a quick watch.
Ouais, chef, ouais. C'est quoi ça?
So you hear the people crying, where chef, where, hi, c'est quoi ça? Because the gendarmes are climbing on him. Two of them climbing on him. That is trampling on him with their boots. When they have already handcuffed him, strapped him behind a pickup van, cornered him. He's harmless. But they're still trampling on him with their boots. You want to watch again? Do.
Ouais, chef, ouais. C'est quoi ça?
You hear the outcry of onlookers. They can't believe their eyes what they are seeing. You know, 2016, Southern Cameroon's lawyers were beaten like children. Their robes confiscated in Boya. They were robbed into the mud. They molested them. Policemen in one unit, they were even commanded by an Amazonian from Manu, a lady. They trampled on them in ways you could not believe. None of those soldiers, none of those policemen, none of those gendarmes were ever called to order. None of them ever faced any repercussions. Why? Because they were doing that to subhumans. Because they were doing that to second-class citizens. Because they were doing that to people that should not even belong. Because they were doing that to animals, not to humans. My dear people of Amazonia. And because nothing happened to them, why should anyone think that they shouldn't repeat it 8 years after? Why should someone think they shouldn't repeat it 8 years after? We saw soldiers of La République du Cameroun take Sam Sawyer, a physically impaired human being, beat him, cornered him, squeezed him to the ground, and started skinning him alive on video. The faces of those soldiers were in that video. They are all still working for the military of La République du Cameroun. Nothing has happened to any of them. Why shouldn't they continue doing this? Why shouldn't they? A soldier in Cow Street, or it was Cow Street or around Veterinary Junction in Bamenda, caught a young nursing mother, a young girl who had just put to birth, who was breastfeeding her child, raped her, and was caught red-handed. There was so much noise made. And the colonial governor, Lily Lafik de Brinchofo, said an investigation was being opened and the soldier will be brought to book. Nothing until this day. I'm saying all of this because I'll be talking to one of ours, Mr. Fabrice Lena, who is in Douala at this moment I'm talking here, and who is even right at the hospital to attend to to check on Barrister Richard Tamfu. You hear him say, "Oh, there is a press release out. The government of La République du Cameroun has called for investigations." Of course, I've asked him to. I will ask him earlier to send me that press release. So I suppose that by the time I finish the conversation with him, we will have it. Of course, this is Mr. Fabrice Lena, the gentleman I'm just talking about. I mean, this is a picture of yesterday when he was there at the La Quintini Hospital with the family of Barrister Richard Tamfu, while he was, in emergency ward receiving treatment. Because, like I said, and you have also watched, he was beaten to pulp. Oh, yes. Before, I think it's because it happened in public and the people were screaming and the video has gone viral. The pictures are all over the world that the people felt pressured to take him to the hospital. Otherwise, what happened to Wazizi? Samuel Wazizi would have repeated itself on Barrister Richard Tamfu. And so I had this conversation with brother Fabrice Lena. And Fabrice Lena, of course, I call him the dreamer, the daydreamer Fabrice Lena. Don't mind me laughing. I call Fabrice Lena daydreamer because he belongs to also to one of the political parties there in La République du Cameroun and dreaming that something good can never come out of Egypt. That something good can never come out of La République du Cameroun. But however, I appreciate his benevolence to share with me a situation update of what is going on with Barrister Richard Tamfu this morning. My brother, Mr. Lena, can you hear me? Greetings, my brother.
Yeah, greetings, young man.
Yeah, I'm calling you to follow up a bit on this month's Barrister Tamfu. Do you have any update about his situation right now?
Yeah, he's still at La Cantini. I'm right at the hospital with him. So, yeah, but he's actually with doctors in the room. I'm in the sitting room right now. I'm in the hospital with him, and then he's better, far better than yesterday.
Oh, okay, at least he's responding to treatment.
Yes, he's responding to treatment.
Okay, do you have an idea if at all he had any fractures or something of the sort?
No, he didn't, but he has told me and then the test will provide for that. But we don't trust this Lakantini hospital, so we will do a cross check afterwards.
Now, what is the situation? Those that beat him up, are they still waiting to take him from there to jail, or they have left?
I didn't hear your last question.
I'm asking that the gendarmes that beat him up, are they still marching around waiting for him to get well so they take him to jail, or they have left?
Well, there is a recent communique that just came out from the Colonial of Gogoman, who said he has opened an investigation for them, as usual, as you know it, and then we just got recent news that some of them have been kept on guard as view for investigation. So it's a developing news, though, so one cannot confirm for sure whether it is true or false. So those are the news on ground now and at stake.
So, thank you very much, Brother Lena, Fabrice. So you got first-hand information from someone who is at the La Quintini Hospital as we speak, and I'm delighted that Mr. Fabrice Lena accepted for his voice to come on this platform, and I'm wishing Barrister Richard Tamfu speedy recovery. And as you heard Mr. Lena Fabrice say, of course, those are not people we trust. And so when Barrister Richard Tamfu emerges from there, I suppose he's learned his lesson that nothing good can ever come out of Egypt. And I hope that my brother daydreamer Fabrice Lena is also seeing with this that we Southern Cameroonians don't belong and will never belong. The most embarrassing thing is that this thing happened early yesterday. But I got up this morning and I was looking at the newspapers that were published in La République du Cameroon today. All the dailies, not one of them, not one mentioned the ordeal that Barrister Richard Tamfu underwent yesterday in Douala. I mean, not a single of the daily newspapers, of course. Not one. Why? They will call it in French chien écrasé, smash dogs, because we are nothing, because we don't ever belong. If he's even about Kuala, what was he doing there? That's what they say. I mean, not a single news organ carried this. Not one. That is what it is. It absolutely is what it is. I hope we continue to learn from these horrible acts. And as I was saying just a while ago, and thanks to Brother Fabrice Lena, I got this communique, or this, what they call in French, mostly message porté. That's the one that has been issued by the Secretary of State at the Ministry of the Cameroon Ministry of Defense in charge of the Gendarmerie Galax Etoga, in which he is saying that they should start up an investigation, and it's even alleging that the gendarmes who were involved have been arrested and have been placed in detention. I mean, what they call in French garde à vue, have been placed on preventive detention, and so investigations are going on for responsibilities to be established. But folks, let me just read it for our edification. It says objet gestion maître gestion incident maître Tamfu Richard avec éléments groupement territorial Douala dans cadre objet sur instruction monsieur le secrétaire d'État ouvrir sans délai enquête judiciaire pour faire la lumière. That they should open investigations to, establish the truth on exactly what happened sur cette affaire. Vous veillerez à entendre toutes les parties, toute personne susceptible contribuer à la manifestation de la vérité et établir les responsabilités des uns et des autres. Résultat dite enquête attendue dans les 27 heures. You hear that? Carry out investigations, interview anyone who could contribute to saying the truth. We saw, a lot of people around there, and then make sure you talk to all the parties to establish the truth, and make sure the result of this investigation are submitted within the next 72 hours. My people, as you know, we all know the modus operandi of La République du Cameroon. This is folklore. Absolute folklore. We all know. What happened to the investigations that were opened into the brutal murder and roasting to death of children, 21 children, a pregnant woman, and other civilians in Gabu? What has happened to the investigations? Where are the results? Have the results ever come out? No. What happened to investigations into the brutal destruction of property, burnings and everything in my 8-man camp that was carried out by the thugs from La République du Cameroon? And then later on, Mr. Lele Lafrique, Adolf the Ben Chofo, said it was a mistake. They did not have to do that, that it was, in error, that they went and carried out those exactions and said investigations had been opened. Where did those investigations end? You want to hear more? Where the investigations into the massive destructions, torture, and even killing of some women, burning of homes in Babanki, where did it end? That was in Bambui. I beg your pardon, in Bambui. Where did it end? Ended nowhere. Nowhere. There are too many of them. Where did the investigations into the rape of the young lactating mother I just talked about a while ago on Cow Street in Bamenda, it was Veterinary Junction? Where did the investigations end? Whatever happened to the culprit? My people of Ambazonia. It is folklore. They'll issue this press release so quickly like this. simply because they need to fool the right organizations. They need to fool the international community. They need to fool the UN human rights body and claim that the people who were responsible for these exactions have been brought to book. Hell no, nothing will ever happen to any of them. I mean, nothing, absolutely nothing. We're sick and tired of all of this. This is why I continue to sensitize our people of Ambazonia who continue, some of those who represent the 1.5 to 2% of our people who continue to think that something good can come out of any form of idiotic union with La République du Cameroon. Nothing. Only torture will ever come out of there. Only exploitation, only dehumanization will ever come out of there. Nothing good to be expected from there. Nothing. Folks, I want to go, but before I go, I want us to take a last look at this video.
Ouais, chef, ouais, c'est quoi ça? Ouais, chef, ouais, c'est quoi ça?
The pain of it. I mean, the pain of it. Did it make you angry? Did it make you vexed? Did it anger you enough for you to get out of your slumber? Did it anger you enough for you to get out of your cozy hiatus? Did it anger you enough for you to get off the fence? Did it anger you enough for you to stop supporting this genocidal regime, this genocidal colonial administration of La République du Cameroon in our land? If it did, I'm waiting to see how you act. Because this is the only way we will succeed in getting these people out of our land. This is the only way we will succeed in getting these barbarians out of our land. I want to thank all and sundry who have taken time to be with me on this platform. We continue to give all the glory to God. We will continue to weather the storms because I know that we will get there. And again, as I said, make no mistake, we must continue to celebrate the little wins that we are getting because those little wins are going to add up. And that's why I'll end with this, that even after everything you have been through, you are still here. You should be so proud of how far you have come. Because I'm proud of myself. Me, Baku. Let me operate like the lizard that fell off the tree to the ground and was not hurt, and looked left and right and there was nobody to praise it, and it shook its head in self-praise. Yeah, you should join me to be proud of yourself. If you are still here until now, trust me, you must be very proud for how far we have come because we are getting there. Thank you everyone for watching this show. Continue to share the link and get as many people as possible to share this message, to get as many people as possible to know the truth, because knowing the truth will set all of us free. Thank you very much for watching once more, and to God be all the glory. Until our next broadcast, it's have a nice time.